I've always been attracted to music since I was a kid, a very young age. I remember I still own my very first 45 vinyl, which my brother gave to me. It's Plastic Patron's Ça Plane pour moi. But yeah, I was always singing along the songs on the radio, which is not unusual. A lot of kids do that, but I kind of, by the time I'd reached that formative teenage era, I'd still been mildly obsessed by it, whereas most other kids my age were, playing sport, etc., etc. A real turning point for me was hearing Sergeant Pepper's in 1987. I mean, it's a seminal album anyway in the scheme of things, but I wasn't aware of that at the time. It was the 20th anniversary of the album, and it was also the inaugural release of that album on the CD format. We're talking 1987 here, and it was all over the radio. And I remember the double hit of Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, followed by With a Little Help from My Friends. And I don't know what it was, but just that day, I just for the first time in my life noticed the bass guitar in a song. And 3 months later, I owned my first bass guitar, a plywood job, and yeah, I pretty much learned the whole album in that space of time, and I was hooked. And what I'm saying is I'm essentially a bass player. Like in this band, I play guitar, and you can tell when you hear my guitar work that I'm not a natural guitarist. But if you like my rhythm work, this is where it comes from. So I eventually ended up traveling the world playing bass guitar in tribute shows, which was a great musical apprenticeship and a great way to see the world. At the core of it all, underneath it all, because it was a Beatles album that first influenced me, I think some gene slipped in that made me want to write songs too, not just play the bass guitar. So Paul, I take my hat off to you.